All right, Charlie. There'll be more of that. As soon as we get that case review report, we'll bring it to you on GB News.
So moving on now, businesswoman and former apprentice candidate Michelle Nitziol is calling on the government to let self-employed people deduct childcare costs from their taxable profits.
She believes it will tackle economic activity, narrow the gender gap in entrepreneurship and help more parents launch and grow businesses.
So is this a smart move, or is it something that parents should just be expected to pay for? Let's talk to Michelle now. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us. So listen, as a mum who over the years has paid extortionate costs for childcare, whilst also being self-employed, I want to cheer this from the rooftops. But what's the response been that you've heard?
The overwhelming support for the cause, which has been absolutely incredible. So thank you for your support also, and for having me on the show to raise awareness. Obviously, there's been a little bit of, misunderstanding, and obviously people wanting to understand a little bit more, which obviously, I'm more than happy to answer the questions.
Can you tell me why, though, you want self-employed women to have a financial advantage over a woman maybe who works in a factory and has to pay for childcare but will not get this financial advantage?
Yeah, it's not a financial advantage. Basically, I'm trying to level the playing field here. So as an employed person, you do obviously get access to the same rights as a self-employed person. However, as a self-employed person myself, when I had my two children, I literally could only have 2 weeks off work, and then I was straight back to work, and purely because I wouldn't have had a business to go back to. So my point here with the campaign is that as a self-employed person, although on paper we have the same rights, is that actually going to happen? So, could we take 9 to 12 months off work? Whereas as an employed person, you can have all that time off with your children and, have a lovely time, bond.
But isn't that a choice you've made, Michelle? Michelle, isn't that a choice you've made?
You could say it's a choice I've made, but also we do need, as a country, we do need self-employed people to contribute to the economy. So we can't be shutting down. I'm trying to encourage here people to start and scale businesses.
There are so many barriers at the moment, Michelle, to starting a business. I mean, I can't think of a time really when I would be less inclined to want to put potentially my house on the line, my savings on the line to start a business, when it feels like things can be just so difficult. But how much of a difference would this actually make to people, do you think, who are parents, as opposed to, let's say, bringing down national insurance or helping with business rates for premises, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. I think it would, if someone was teetering on the edge of thinking about starting a business, I think that that's going to help them get into entrepreneurship. And I think those who are already in business, I think that that's going to help scale their businesses. So, as the Rose Review states, if women had the same chances as men to scale businesses, we would be £250 billion a year injected back into the economy.
So should it just be for working mothers, or should it be working parents?
Yeah, no, the petition is definitely for working parents. It's not just for women, it is for everybody. However, obviously, we are aware that the majority of the childcare is given by women currently. So we are pushing the women element, but no, it is definitely for all parents.
You've got a woman chance of the exchequer. Do you think that's going to make any difference?
You got what, sorry?
A woman chance of the exchequer for the first time. Do you think that will make any difference?
Yes, I do. Yes, thank the Lord for that. But yeah, no, I am hopeful that is going to make a difference.
And have you had any response from any MPs at the moment, Michelle? How are you trying to get this across their desk?
Yeah, so I've reached out to my local MP, who is Callum Miller. And so the petition has only just launched the last sort of 3 weeks. So we're currently on the campaign for more media exposure. We've got a photo shoot booked and a national social media takeover for the 25th of June. So just trying to raise as much awareness as possible.
Great.
We need to get to this 100,000 signatures.
Thanks. Thank you, Michelle. And we need to get to a break. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let us know what you think. GBNews.com/your say.
Weather next.